Are you aware of the power of intention? This video I just turned on to make a random quick video about just intention and neural connections, neurochemistry, neurogenesis, and what they call actually neuroplasticity in the world of the mind sciences. Neuroplasticity is the ability for the mind to what they say is neurons that fire together wire together. If you are a carpenter, your neurons fire to work towards reading quicker measurements, towards being able to select boards faster, for quality, to notice small mistakes, to pick up the whole picture. All of these things become part of your brain. Let's just call it the structure. I don't want to call it a structure. I want to call it the framework for your current thinking. This can change from day to day, and this is something I've been playing with over the last 5 years, and I really haven't talked about it a whole lot because I don't really know how to. It's something that we're so used to having. It's just part of us. Like, one week I'm into music, and the next week I'm into this. People who have multiple interests know what I'm talking about. If you're a multi-potentialite like I am, then, and you've learned how to not limit yourself by saying, I need to buckle down, I need to get one job, one career, I need to stick with something, I need to do one thing that I'm really good at and be an expert. It's bullshit. Jack of all trades is a much more happy lifestyle for me. However, there are other people who have wired their brains to be so good at one thing or so involved in one thing, and they enjoy it so much that they don't need anything else, that they don't need to seek beyond. Now, what I'm trying to say here is lay out an idea that people are different. Okay, I could just say it that way. People are different. Some people can go to college, get a career, and seemingly be happy with it forever. Other people want to learn a lot of different things. But the thing to remember is, and why I'm saying, giving the two extreme examples, is if you take the person who's been working at one job their whole life, and that's all they're interested in, not just work, but, that's what they do. They come home, they have their routines. And say when they're in their 50s, they decide they're going to break away from that. That's very, 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 very difficult. You could think of your way of life somewhat like an addiction. Addictions you've had for a long time are really hard to break too. It's not really because of the addiction, it's because of the routine and the way your brain's been wired. So, the routines, when we break them up a little bit and try to find something else that interests us for a while, we can find ourselves, let me see, how am I going to word this? Getting wrapped too much up in a certain way, for me, is very limiting. But it's also very rewarding because I can find myself waking up each day, and it's the first thing I think about. And go back a year to when I was really, really into my medical cannabis thing, and every morning I woke up and I'd come out here and I'd clip leaves and I'd do everything all perfectly. Like, my mind was in the mode of plants, and I would think, God, when harvest season comes, I'm gonna have to do nothing but prune buds. And when it did come, I was like, oh great, this is going to take forever. How am I don't want to do this. But once my mind got into it, got focused, every morning I woke up and it was bud trim time, bud trim time, bud trim time. And then I'd find something else I needed to get done, and I'd think, oh, how am I going to get into that? And then my mind would get into that mode, and that mode. The last few days I've woke up and I've been in the mode of, let's say, listening to certain music early in the morning. It's just like, I got songs stuck in my head, I come out, listen to music, and I tell myself I'm going to be awake and ready to go, and the next thing you know, I am. This is a good cup of guayusa. I've been drinking coffee my whole life, and I'm going to try to switch to tea. And lately I've been drinking more tea, but I switched to this guayusa tea, and I thought, my mind is so programmed to drink coffee. It's what I'm so used to for so long that It's not about the caffeine, it's about the drink and the comfort that my mind has with something that's familiar. And I think we all understand this. Familiarity is something that comforts us. So breaking away from that familiarity can be, I don't know, I guess I would say get your feet wet, try new things, test the water of everything, find out what really interests you and moves you, and go with it. And when you're in a mode of doing something, embrace it fully. And don't worry about where you're going to be next, or how am I going to get back into this other way of thinking or this other mode. Because our brains are designed to shift gears when we need them to. When I was into lucid dreaming a few years back, that's all I did. At night, my brain was ready to dream. I woke up, remembered my dreams, I controlled my dreams. The minute I lost interest and stopped, thinking consciously of it, I just stopped doing it. So over the years, I've found that this applies to everything I do. When you start a new business, you get really into it maybe. Or when you get a new hobby that you're really excited about, you might get really into it for a while. The trick is not to lose interest in it or to fade away, but rather to embrace it fully. And once you start to lose interest, move on to something else for a while. If you're like me and you like to change gears a lot, it's very difficult when you have a structured life and you have kids and you have mortgage and bills and all that. You can't just pack up and go try something new and move to another land. You can, but anyway, I guess my point there is don't feel trapped just because you can't do the things you want to do. Realize that you can do all the things you want to do, that we're really only trapped within our own minds. Because I got older and realized there's nowhere I really want to go. Sure, I'd love to travel and I'd love to do more things, but my feeling of trapped was always because of my own image of how I'm not doing enough. Because we as humans, at least with the humans with functioning brains, functioning limbs, living in a free world, who have the ability to go out and do something for ourselves, it's easy to get let down with ourselves, to think, oh, I could be doing more. Just get up.